Hi everybody, this is Eero here, and in this video we're going to take a look at core stability, how to train it, and what is core stability. So the core stability, what it simply is your ability to keep your core still. So your ability to basically resist movement from your core, and for this purpose you need to have a very good musculature in your abs, obliques, and lower back. You can think of many exercises, for example a squat. When you're told keep your core tight or keep your back neutral and don't let it round and so on and so on. All that this means is basically you want to keep that core not moving as you squat down, or let's say you do a push-up and we say keep a hollow body, contract glutes, contract abdominals. This is the same thing. It means that you want to keep your core not moving when you do the exercise. The difference here now is that we are not practicing like pressing. We're not practicing the pulling. Although we have exercises where we do the pulling or pressing motion with our arms, the focus is not on that. The focus is completely on keeping that core stable. What the motion does when you do the pressing is it challenges that stability. It creates a distraction, it creates instability. And this will challenge your core muscles, and if you do not hold them stable, tense them really hard, it will break and you will probably arch all around or swing the side from your body. Being able to control your core muscles both with mobility and now with stability is very crucial for any exercise that you're going to do or athletic movement. Because if you don't have the control, you don't have support from your core, this means that the movement from your arms, shoulders, your legs is going to be compromised. It's not going to be as clean as it would if you would keep your core stable. And this is the reason why, although we do not focus on the actual pressing or the pulling, what will happen as a result of keeping that core stable is that you will probably extremely effectively work those pressing muscles, your chest, shoulders, triceps, and into pulling your lats, for example. And one of the reasons is because you're not cheating with your core. If you do a pull-up, for example, and most of the time we arch the back, then we round a bit the back so that we can get up. But this time we want to, the core has to stay as stiff like a rock. It has to be like a rock. This will change the exercise, how you do them completely. But we'll now take a look at these exercises and I'll explain some details about them, so let's go. The first exercise that we're going to do is the hollow body press. So in this exercise, you're lying down on the floor and you just do a hollow body like you would normally do. You raise your legs up, raise the upper back a bit off the floor and keep it that way while you press the weight slowly up with control. So it's very important to have the arm movement as smooth as possible and avoid any jerking stuff. It can be a bit like faster pressing motion, but this is usually a bit harder, and in the start you will get much better results when you do a more slower pressing motion. And this is the hollow body press variation with the dumbbell. So when you press the dumbbell from the side, it will target more the obliques as well, because you have to keep your body from rotating. You can start by pressing more closer to your body, but I recommend really trying this really flaring the elbow to the side and pressing from there. You can keep your other arm on your chest or on the side. And remember to constantly keep the tension on your midsection. So you don't have to completely extend the elbow in this case. So you can just basically, what you want to focus more on is using actually the chest. You can even do this in a fly motion, not really in a pressing motion, but more like in a chest fly motion, and it will work extremely well. So now we have the hollow body pullover motion, and this is a bit different compared to the pressing exercises because it really completely changes the center of the balance as you move the weight like over your head and back to your chest. And I find this quite challenging actually, probably one of the more challenging variations of this. But you can also do the pressing motion with this as well. And now we will do the hollow body pull-up. So this is a pull-up where you keep that core not moving at all. So when I start to pull, I don't arch, I don't do anything. I just keep it still the whole time. It's actually probably one of the hardest pulling exercises that you can do. Because normally pull-ups are done, there's usually every single time there's a bit of jerking somewhere at the point, even if it's just a little bit of something. And in this case, your arms and your back have to do the whole work while they drag your sort of stiff body up. So once again, I recommend starting this quite slowly, and you might actually find that this will help you to really target the back and the arms when you do pull-ups. And then we finish this with partial repetitions. So these repetitions can be faster, and they will actually be very challenging, actually even more challenging for the core. So you really have to keep it from not waving, not even a little bit, when you do these repetitions. So next we are doing a bent over row with a focus on the core stability. So once again, although this is like a normal row, you want to focus keeping the lower and upper back not moving. Also the hips, actually, obviously you need to contract your glutes, hamstrings, quadriceps, so that your legs don't move either. You can do this with the normal barbell. I use this trap bar just to get a little bit of variation. It does change the center of the balance. I can pull like more closer to my body, but otherwise it's the same. So you keep the lower back, upper back still, and then you can also pull your scapulas like backwards a bit, so you have the scapular stability as well. And the only thing that you're really focusing on here is just moving the arms back from the shoulder. If you have the trap bar, you can also put it this way, and I found it to be fairly challenging. Once again, it changes the center of the balance here, the center of the mass, and it was quite challenging to actually balance the bar this way. The range of motion isn't really the biggest thing here. Even though you couldn't really pull very far back your arms, it doesn't matter. Like, the focus is completely on keeping that back and hip stable there. Here we have the plank pull through. So you need to have a kind of a sand back, some type of, and I recommend that don't use a very heavy sandbag. It doesn't necessarily make this more challenging. It can even make it easier, because when you have a heavy back, you can kind of get some support from it. But the idea here is, so you start by holding a normal push-up plank, moving the weight basically below your body, and then when it gets a bit easier, you can start to raise the other leg up. So now you're only supporting with the one arm and one leg while you do this pressing and pulling motion. And this one really challenges not only the obliques, not only the abs and obliques, but also heavily the lower back. I was really able to feel this quite well in like the sides of the lower back, probably in the quadratus lumborum area, but the whole core must work very heavily so that it doesn't move when you move the back. You can also do this type of like small pushing, like quick pushing motions, and it's actually more challenging this way because it's not a smooth pull, but it's kind of like a more faster and violent little push and jerk. And basically this pushing motion, it's uneven, it's also more unstable, which means more requirements for the core stability. In this last set, I will keep my legs together, and this is another more challenging variation if you think about being on the one leg, so you can also just keep your legs together and making it more challenging. In the start, remember to do more slower push and pull, but then you can do a bit faster, and this faster will be actually harder. But in the start, you probably want to do more slower motion to make sure that you have the core stable. Once you got it, you can do faster repetitions and it will be more challenging. So this was the video about core stability of the different exercises, and I hope you understood how important it is for overall movement, athleticism, sports, any exercise. And that's it. I'll see you in the next time. Take care.